as I bring up Reverend Simeon Lord. Reverend Simone Lord. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You made it. Give yourself a hand. You made it here. Hallelujah. So we're thankful to see your wonderful, beautiful, happy faces here today. Everybody happy and healthy. So I'd just like to give a thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus. I'm not going to preach today. Don't worry, don't worry. I see some nervous stuff. Oh, here we go. She going in. I'm not going to preach today. But I just want to thank the Lord for each and every one of you. Welcome. So thank you, Father, for this gathering. And we thank you for the minds, the wealthy minds guarded here today, oh Lord God. Everyone alive and well. In Jesus' name, we thank you for a successful event and for successful minds so that we can do great things for ourselves, for our families, for the community, for the kingdom. Amen. Amen. Okay, so I just want, before we introduce our keynote speaker, one of our speakers today, I would like to tell you that this event, the reason for it, the purpose of this event, the reason we gathered leaders, community liaison, and everyone here, community members, business leaders, pastors, is because we have something very important to share today. And so we wanted to make sure that you take it back and that you take it to the community and that you do something with it. So the wealth of information shared today is not just to stay within you. You have to share it. You are that light, so you gotta go out there, you gotta light somebody else up. So hopefully you will take this information and go out there. That's why we invited you. You guys are the best of the best. And we invited you, the creme de la crop, the crop, right? Creme de la crop. Anybody speak French? Know that I'm not pronouncing this correctly. But you know who you are. And so we want to thank you for passing this information along. So, millionaire mindset. Do you want to be a millionaire? Are you going to make that first million? Yeah, all right then. I need some millionaires in the room. Hallelujah. I need some people to stand up who could be a millionaire, who are a millionaire, who gonna be a millionaire, who gonna make that next million, who's gonna make that first million, who's gonna make that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th million. It begins with a millionaire mindset, not a mindset, a millionaire mindset. And so that's why we created the app, Million Mindset. So I want you to go to your phone while our guest speaker, Dave Delaney, is coming up. And I want you to go to the App Store. I want you to go to Google Play Store. And you look for Million Mindset. And you say something, post something on it. Let's get this party started. Let's get into that million mindset. Later on, we're going to share strategies, tips, how to get there. But we are very serious about getting you there. It's my purpose to get you there. That's what God gave me. Beloved, I love above all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. That's my duty. So I would like to say a little bit about Dave Delaney. He is going to be our Google representative today. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks. Hey everybody.
Hey, what's happening?
So so I came in from Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm based in Nashville. I've been in Nashville for like 10 years. You may notice my accent might be a little weird. It's because I'm Canadian. I'm actually from Toronto. And if I must, okay, I'll just tell you really quick. So I met my wife, who's from Jackson, Tennessee, which is between Nashville and Memphis. And I met her where? Ireland. So you never know where the world's going to take you. It's kind of crazy. So, but I've been living in Nashville for like 10 years, in the States for 10 years. So I'll drop a y'all and then I'll say hey, and it'll sound weird, but just go along with it. And what I'm going to talk about today, and hopefully you can see if the sun behaves, are tips for measuring online success. So how many people have a website for their business? So show of hands. Okay. So most of you, not everybody, the number now is like 50%, which is surprising, but 50% of small businesses in the US have a website for their business. And of course nowadays you really should have one for your business. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. A lot of times what I find with my clients as well is that when you have a business or have a website for your business, whether it's an e-commerce website where you're selling things on the site or whether it's you're using it to promote your services, a lot of times you don't measure the results. You don't know how to measure the results. You don't know if the website's working, right? You can't see them very well. So I'm going to be talking about that. But the question really is, you know, why do we measure? So anybody have any reasons why you would want to measure your website? Like what's going on your website? Anyone? Yeah.
So you can know how you're doing.
Right, perfect, yeah, to know how you're doing, to have an idea of what's going on, right? So, so what I'm going to be talking about is why you should measure, how to evaluate your website to know if it's up to snuff, how to evaluate your business listing. So you should have a business listing in Google search results. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about YouTube as well, because I know there was a request to talk a little bit about some video stuff, so I'll do that. And then how to evaluate your ad campaigns. So why measure success? As a gentleman said, you really want to know what's going on. I apologize for the polls, by the way. I know some of you can't see me, so I'll meander over here sometimes. So why measure success, right? We want to see what's happening on our site. We want to understand what the customer's journey is on the website. We want to understand our audience. So with like Google Analytics, which I'll talk more about, you can actually understand and know who it is, not individually of course, but who you are reaching, you know, where they live, that kind of thing. And then finally, using resources wisely. And those resources include, you know, content, if you have a content marketing strategy, the blog posts you write, the videos you produce, the email marketing you do, all of that stuff, the money that you spend to advertise online, and offline for that matter. These are all your resources, and the time it takes to create content. So, we'll talk about that. You can also track your app, by the way, as Simone was talking about her app. You can actually track what's going on in your app if you have an app as well. So, let's talk about why we should track it. It depends, right? It depends on what we are tracking. The first thing is how many people visit our websites. That's a number that we may be interested in seeing, right? We want to know, is anyone coming to our websites? Well, these tools will let you know that people are in fact coming to your websites, and they can give you an idea of how many. And then you can set benchmarks, so you can say, okay, I had 100 people this month on my website, I want 1,000 people next month, or whatever it is, but you can set some goals, who they are, what they're from, and where they're from. I mentioned this before, so if you have like a local business that you serve just Queens, for example, like a mom and pop shop, a brick and mortar, then it doesn't matter if you're reaching people in Canada. Woo! Sorry, a little shout out to myself there. But it doesn't matter if you're reaching people in Canada because you serve a local market, right? So it's really important to know where geographically people are coming from, how they found you. So that includes through social media, that includes through maybe the chamber here has written about you in a blog post on their website and linked to your website. You can see those links and you can see, oh wow, look, I'm getting traffic from the chamber or a partner or whatever, or a news outlet as well. How much time they spent on your site. I was talking to a gentleman earlier who has a Christian television website. I don't see you, I know you're here. Anyway, but so some websites, media websites, you want people to spend a lot of time on your site. You want them to get to know you and consume the content that you have on your site. Where other people might have, like, they might be selling products on their website and they really want a short amount of time. They want people to go to your website, make a purchase, and split. And so that's really important. So understanding how much time people are spending on your site can give you information, right? So that can also help you if they're losing, for example, if they're just coming to your website to buy one thing, and then they get distracted or they get lost on your website and they're spending too much time, that could be a red flag, right? You want to know what they looked at, what a person looks at on your website. So for example, how many people have a blog for their business? Show of hands. Couple? Okay, you guys need blogs. It's a whole nother presentation, but by creating content on your websites, you can then see what pages or what content you have on your websites, what stuff is most popular, and that can help give you ideas for new future content based on that, right? You can see people are coming from an article maybe on a blog that you wrote a year ago, and you'd be like, wait, okay, interesting, then I'm getting tons of traffic from this one topic, maybe I need to write more about that. So understanding what they looked at and then what tasks they completed, and I'll talk more about the tasks, but tasks include signing up for an email newsletter, because you want to capture emails on your websites, hopefully, or make a purchase, even better, or fill out the contact form, that kind of thing. So the tools I'm going to talk about today include integrated tools such as Google My Business, which has an insights part of that. Anybody using Google My Business? Okay, good. 1, 2. Okay, cool. AdWords Express. So that's like Google AdWords. If you've ever tried advertising with Google AdWords in the past, it might have been a little daunting, a little overwhelming, and you're like, no. AdWords Express is great because it really simplifies the process. It's relatively new. AdWords Reports, email marketing reports, standalone tools like Google Search Console, and I'm going to talk about that. Google Analytics, and Test My Site tool. So these are all free tools that you can use from Google to know what's going on in your website. And then finally, last but not least, word of mouth, right? Asking your customers, I think that's an important part that often gets missed, especially as you focus on your website. You spend maybe a little less time finding out from your customers specifically what they're looking for. So finding out from them and talking to them is a great way to go, of course, as well. So how to evaluate your website? Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. So there's 3 ways to evaluate your website: Google Search Console, Google Analytics. By the way, if you throw me a card afterwards, don't throw it, because I could hit my eye or something. But if you place a card down gently, no. Afterwards, I'm happy to email you and follow up with you. And if you still have questions about this stuff afterwards, let me know, okay? So Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and the Test My Site tool. So I'm going to get in on this. So first of all, Google Search Console. Are there anybody that's ever used something called Google Webmaster Tools? No? Okay. So the reason why I asked that is it just changed names to Search Console, so not to confuse anyone. But you're good. You're good. This is, if you go to google.com/webmasters, you can find the Search Console tool. And what that does is it will walk you through and look at your website, and it'll show you how Google finds your website. One of the most valuable things, I think, is it shows you broken links and any issues that are on your website, because it's Google's job to show people the best results, right? And if your website has a bunch of broken links on it, it may not turn up as high as you wanted in search results. I don't know the magic algorithm, but I do know that it's important that your website functions really well. And so broken links is a big problem. So Search Console will show you where those problems are. I know you can't really see the deck here, but it also monitors performance search results, so it tells you how you're ranking and how you're doing. And then it also shows you how other people see your site. So whether people are finding your site okay, what the keywords are that they're using to find your website. That's really important, because sometimes somebody might come to your website because they heard your business is awesome, and somebody gave you your website and then you went and entered it. Or you're searching for something specifically, you Google it, you find the answer, and then you go to the website and you make a decision, right? So the first scenario of how to do this, or for using Search Console beyond what I've already said, if you are doing a major site upgrade on your website, like you're just skinning the whole thing, just rebooting the whole thing, just changing it all out, it's really important to monitor how it's performing in Google, because oftentimes a website can take a dip in traffic when it's been completely relaunched for a little while, and then it kind of goes back up, hopefully. So what Search Console will do is tell you, the website's not doing as well, and you can then address those problems either on your own or with a webmaster. And then, so in this case, if you submit content to, when you relaunch the site, you can submit content. And you can actually hide content too. So if you have that old article that's not as relevant now, but that performs really well, that drives people to yours. And so the last thing I will leave you with is do this stuff. Install Google Analytics, get it all set up. If you have questions, give me a card, I'll follow up with you. And if you are going to buy a couch for your basement, measure your room before you buy it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
So at this time, we would like to welcome a very good friend of mine. This gentleman, he was my boss. And he was just a really good boss, by the way. I always really admired Ralph. For business acumen, he's really a great guy. So right now he is the publisher of the Caribbean Life newspapers. So let's hear it from Ralph.
You warned me. Thank you, Simone. Thank you to the Southeast Queens Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, everyone who came today. Congratulations to the other honorees. Also, thank you to my company, Community News Group, for giving me the platform to deal with companies like yours, organizations like this. This Chamber of Commerce, I think, is one of the most dynamic and fastest growing in Queens and probably in New York City. So, and I also want to thank my compatriot from Community News Group, Reed Brin, who's here with me today. Thank you, Reed. So Simone asked me to speak. I said, what do you want me to speak about? She said, I'd like you to talk about exponentially growing your business. I go, great, can you tell me how to do that? And, but the thing is, there's no simple answer to exponentially growing your business. You have to do a lot of little things. I'll tell you, the first thing you have to do is figure out what your brand is. So everybody here has a business or is working in a business, but your brand is different than your business. If you're a tax accountant, that's not your brand. What is your brand? If you're Apple, you're an electronics company, but that's not your brand. Apple's brand is the #1 brand in the world. It's worth $150 billion, just the brand alone. The company's approaching $1 trillion company, but the brand is worth $150 billion because of what they've been able to make you think about Apple products. And my kids think about Apple products. So it's all about design, it's all about ease of use, it's all about an emotional connection with Apple. And that's why you've got Apple, the iPhone 10 coming out now, and people waiting in line to buy it. Maybe you haven't even grown that quickly, but you've got a business, or you're a business leader. Give back to the community. I mean, I know you all do. But give back to the community for no other reason than it's simply the right thing to do. Dr. Martin Luther King said, the most persistent and urgent, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? The more successful you become, that question becomes more urgent. And that's a pretty good trip. So thank you very much. Simone, thank you. I appreciate everything.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Thank you for that nice welcome, warm welcome. And so let me just kind of give you a few things, all right? So let's say number one. Everybody say one. All right, so for number one is to piggyback on what she said, is that in this great state, in this city, in this town, in this municipality, what we understand is that everything is insured. Is that not right, correct? This building is correct. It's correct, insured. Those streets are insured. The buses, the highways, the bridges, everything is insured. Everybody get that? Now, what happens is when you get a car, they make sure you put insurance on that car. You cannot have the car without insurance. Why is that? Because the town, the city, the state does not want to be responsible for any negligence that we provide by having an accident. Even though everything that we drive on is insured to insure us. They pass to us. So if you want to have a house, they do the same thing. Even though the land in which you have the house on is already insured. They want to make sure that they don't have to come out of their pocket if there's a flood, a fire, any problem with your roof, any theft, any slip or fall. They pass it on to you. Is that correct? All right, so you will send things to your country and you make sure whatever the value is of the items you ship is insured by that value. Is that not correct? The diamonds on the ladies' rings, on her fingers, those rings, we make sure those are insured. You know, I got 3 or 4 carats, I better insure this, just in case something happens. So we insure all these things, but what happens is we don't insure the most precious thing to us. The diamond will not be there without you. The house will not be there without you. The cars and all the other things that we own, that we love and enjoy, will not be there without the precious one thing, the human value of life. And so we're in a process of always thinking to ensure the things that we're very proud of, and we know that we're proud of ourselves, but we don't connect insurance to ourselves. You get me? Am I getting too deep? All right, so I give an example, and this example hit me home, really hard at home, is this. Is that if I were to be in an accident, and let's say it was a Google truck hit me, and the Google truck, I know, makes a lot of money. And so Google was at fault. If I had gotten hurt, what would I sue for? Would I sue for millions and billions of dollars? Yes. Would I not? Come on, y'all. Y'all with me? Yeah. Y'all with me? Don't let me feel like I'm alone. All right? So you would sue. And you would sue for a lot. Right? And someone will tap you in the back and you'll sue for much more than that, right? So Google hits me, I'm suing. What I'm looking for is a big lawsuit, and I'm telling all my friends and family, they say, stay low. That's a Google truck. Stay low. Don't move. This is going to be a little nice little pocket change coming for this, right? So here it happens now, you sue for millions because at that time you believe you're alive and you're going to have to deal with some type of handicap. You never know. My back might not stay right? My shoulders might not stay right. But if something were to happen to you in any other manner, we never think to buy insurance at the true value of who you are. Give me a $10,000 policy bill. Just give me enough to bury me, right? Just enough. So when it comes to suing someone, you feel that you're so valuable. I need millions. But when it comes to investing in your own value, thinking about your value for your family, we think low. Do you see that? So what we do in our business is really critical. Sometimes we are avoided by many people, but you really make more than $1 million over the course of your lifetime. So everyone here is a millionaire, right? Everyone here. If you made over $35,000 and you're working 30 years in your lifetime, you've already made over $1 million. And that's all of us. I think we have more than $35,000 people here. Yes? It looks like it based on the suits and ties and the shoes and the dresses and the earrings. I see that there's a lot of millionaires already here. So that's why you have the app. But really, from this standpoint, I'm going to end with this. If you didn't get this point, did you get this point? Did you get this point? Because I was about to lose a little bit of religion I had. Did you get the point? Right. So lastly, I represent an office right here in Queens, on Queens Boulevard, not far from here. And I'm always looking for great talent to take a look at the business. I'm enjoying the business for a little over a decade now. And I'm doing extremely well. I love the business. I love to share the business with other individuals. I hire pretty much about 10 to 12 individuals per year. The company enables me to provide about $250,000 contributed to each person that I invest in and hire. So I want to reach out to you guys, think about who do you know that you would allow me to mentor, to help them understand the business, to help them understand how money works, how to help other individuals run their money properly. All right, because there's a lot of college funding that's underfunded, a lot of retirements that are not planned properly. A lot of people here are not saving enough. They're not knowing how to make money work for them. And so a lot of the New York Life teaching and training helps provide us with the details, the best practices to get them engaged to know exactly how to make their money work for them. And that's just the whole mindset that we're trying to put people in. And so thank you for giving me the platform to introduce myself and say a few words. And I want to thank you again for listening to me for a couple of minutes. Thank you.